Virgo season is really going to fortify these other energies into us. Hey y'all, welcome to Meryl's Mystic. I'm Meryl, and I empower witches, bitches, and dudes to complete themselves in order to have healthier soulmate relationships and more purposeful lives. And I'm also a tarot psychic medium, and I connect with the universe and the spirit world to bring you any messages that you may need to help navigate the ever-changing energy in on this crazy blue ball that we're flying through space on together. Welcome to my channel. If you've never been here before, I'm so happy you're here. If you've been here before and you're returning, I'm also happy you're here. Thank you so much for your support. Please be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like, share with your friends, cross-watch. For the tarot scopes, I always recommend that you watch for your sun, moon, and rising sign. These are general readings, so the messages might not always land with you, and that's okay. You can leave them for someone else and wait for the messages that are meant for you. So today we are here to talk about Virgo season. Happy birthday, Virgos. I think we'll probably need a little bit of grounding after Leo season, although it was a really fun, fulfilling Leo season, and I hope that you got some of the Leo season magic in your world. And it's still time. There's still time. You can still go and watch your Leo season tarot scopes if you haven't. We definitely are going to have some of the fun, unapologetic energy carrying into Virgo season. So Virgo season goes from August 22nd, the evening of the 22nd, maybe the 23rd where you are, to September 21st. And so in the northern hemisphere, this is the end of summer and it is the end of winter in the southern hemisphere. And so Virgo season is a mutable sign, and mutable signs always come at the end of the earthly seasons. And then we have an Aquarius. Well, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. First, right before Virgo season turned to Virgo season, the evening before into the morning after, the 21st to the 22nd, is our second Aquarius full moon. And if you haven't watched the replay of the Aquarius full moon live, definitely go check out the energy reading for what the Aquarius full moon is. The second Aquarius full moon is bringing us. Leo season was bookended by these Aquarius full moons, and since it's literally pretty much happening the same day that Virgo season switches over, it's within the same 12-hour period that these energies are all transitioning. It's gonna carry a lot of that Aquarius energy, and some of the Leo energy that played with the Aquarius energy of being our unapologetic weird selves, no matter what it looks like on the outside. Some other dates that you'll need to remember is Venus went into Libra on August 16th and will be there until September 10th. Now, Venus rules Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. And so when planets are always in their ruling sign, they affect us much more powerfully. And when Venus is in Libra, it really has us prioritizing our emotions when it comes to relationships, not just romantic relationships, and really, I feel like I just heard love languages, and so I could see that this is a time where we're really going to be exploring what our love languages are, and also how do we communicate that to others. The Venus in Libra will be helping us communicate our boundaries also. Any of these forms of self-love, or how we love each other, how we love each other, how we want to be loved, all that kind of stuff is really going to be stirred up for those couple weeks, or It's just under a month. Next, the Virgo new moon is Tuesday, September 7th, and there will be a live probably like that Friday or Saturday before. Keep an eye on my social media to find out. And then we will have our full moon in Pisces right at the end of Virgo season on September 20th, which is interesting because we're going to really have kind of like a very Virgo-y Virgo season, since the full moon, a lot of the time the full moon can kind of help break up the energy of the season and can give us a nice balance to it. But we're having these moments now where the full moons are coming at the end of the season, so it's kind of like a highlight. So I'm very curious to see how this Virgo season, how the next month is kind of, I have a feeling the energy is going to kind of build up to this full moon. So all this Virgo energy is really we're still playing off of the energy from the season before. It's the theme of this year. And we're coming off of this very strong Leo Aquarius energy from Leo season, and it's being brought into Virgo season by this last Aquarius full moon. The Aquarius full moon is helping bring over this Leo season energy that was really highlighted by these Aquarius moons, and this energy of being our unapologetic self, being, even if it looked weird from the outside, and really like accepting who we are. And from Cancer season we got like, what do we really want and who are we really? And now in Virgo season, it's really about like just standing in that place, standing in who you are. I think Virgo energy sometimes can be overlooked because a lot of Virgos can appear to be introverted, or they can kind of stand off in the back. They like to be supporting players. And because it's just after Leo season, which is a very expansive energy, there is more of a contracting energy in Virgo season. And I think Virgo energy and Virgos in general can sometimes be easily overlooked because they all appear always to like have their shit together. Isn't that nice? Wouldn't that be great? Which, I have a Virgo moon, and so I have noticed that people are like, man, you really seem like you have your shit together. I'm like, well, at least it seems like I do. Maybe one day reality will catch up. So, but the really valuable thing about Virgos and Virgo energy is that they're an earth sign, and that they're usually very solid people. They usually already know what they want and what they're working towards, and they seem to be able to effortlessly balance like all the parts of their life. And so we really, that's the part of Virgo that we really need right now, especially after maybe some of the transitions or sacrifices that you felt you've been making this year in order to really step into who you are and to show up as the fullest embodiment of yourself. We really need this, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Virgo season is really going to fortify these other energies into us. So you can still go back and look at your Leo season tarot scopes. You can even go back and look at Cancer tarot scopes, because you really needed to know what Cancer season was bringing you in order to tap into Leo season, and then in Virgo season, that's all getting fortified within us. So it really doesn't matter when you watch these things, you get the messages when you're supposed to get the messages. So it really is kind of it's just about, and the word boundaries kind of kept coming up, but it's more than that. We were already setting boundaries at the beginning of this journey, we've already had a lot of this energy of like setting boundaries, and this is more just the boundaries are already set. It's about maintaining them. It's about holding those boundaries. It's about holding ourselves accountable for the intentions that we've set, and not allowing ourselves or others to take advantage of that. So another piece of this about boundaries and holding ourselves accountable is our rituals and our habits. And this started coming up with the Leo full moon, that we really needed to start looking closer at not just like our rituals and our routines, because we all need routine in a certain way, but it's also like our habits within our routines and the things that we are doing on autopilot, and we just do them all the time because we're used to it, and a lot of that stuff like you have to continue doing. But we also should be recognizing maybe the habits we formed that aren't really serving us anymore. The routines we've created that aren't setting us up for success. So this is really about like self-responsibility, because that's another quality associated with Virgo, responsibility. They are an earth sign. They know how to show up. They know how to get things done. They know how to make plans. So they're can-do people. They just do it in such a subtle way that unless you have a Virgo close to you that you know, you probably wouldn't even like realize like who the Virgos are. I always feel like it's a lot of times earth signs always surprise you that they're earth signs. Because most earth signs have a good sense of humor too, but they're naturally supportive people when they're not in their shadow, at least. But we all have a shadow. It's for every sign. Every sign has a light and a shadow side. So we're trying to focus on the light side of this energy. But there's always lessons that come with this energy also. And that brings us to our tarot card of the season, which is the Hermit. Virgo is associated with the Hermit card in the Major Arcana, and this is part of like why I feel like Virgo can get a bad rap, because they can easily isolate and be introverted. But I know a lot of Virgos that once you get them out of their shell, they're like out of their shell and they're like, we're gonna do this now. And so with the Hermit, and this is really great for this season, because the Hermit is all about like learning also. It's represented by a masculine figure. And if you notice that they are actually on top of a mountain here, like looking down on creation. And then you see the light in their lantern, and then the staff is actually very symbolic also. Staffs have been used as symbols in all sorts of beliefs and religions for a long time, and it's a symbol of like the way shower, the leader of the person that knows the way. And then we have the like literal light representation of light, and that's also of idea. And the thing about the Hermit is that, knowledge is power for sure, and Virgo is not a dummy at all. I feel like it's very rare to find a struggling Virgo. We're all human though. And the thing about the Hermit is though that the Hermit has to come out of their cave eventually. You can't just like hoard all this knowledge and education to yourself. You have to share it eventually. That is like a big lesson and message of the Hermit. And when it comes to this Virgo season, it's really great because we're having it highlighted by this Libra in Venus, and we're carrying over our lessons from Cancer and Leo season. And so, and this has all been about learning about ourselves, really, and learning about like how we are with people, and how we are with ourselves, and how we are in the world. And now it's time to fortify that and stand in it. I see they're standing strong. They're looking down like, oh, there's probably some people I should let know what's going on. So it is about that, about being honest too about these things that we've learned about ourselves with those around us. So that's the general overview for Virgo season. Please be sure to follow me at Meryl's Mystic on all platforms so that you can dive deeper with me throughout the season. I do a live for the new moon and the full moon, and then those energy overviews will be posted on YouTube. Cool. Let's get into your teroscopes. Hi, Virgo. So good to see you. Happy birthday. I hope that the end of your summer is fabulous. I hope that whatever you end up doing to celebrate you, it's wonderful. Oh, we're starting off with the Seven of Wands. My brain sees one thing, my mouse sees another. Seven of Wands. I feel like I've seen this come up quite a bit lately. I feel like it might even come up for you last season, did it? The Seven of Wands is all about, like, protecting what you have, you know, protecting what you've worked towards, which is actually really great. This is kind of like the perfect card for your season, because I always call it like the haters card, like why haters gotta hate. And also what was pointed out to me recently is that, like, if you look closely, this person here has two different shoes on. Like they were like in a hurry to get to where they were going. Well, they had a battle like to show up to. And so the other thing about that, I feel like, is really about making sure you're also showing up. Like, you can only fight for what you want and what you're working towards if you show up. And I know, Virgo, that if you don't feel like things are perfect, and if you feel like it's, you know, well, it's just not exactly what I want, and it's not totally what it looks like I want it to look, and I don't look like the way I need to look, then I can't, why even show up? And this is, I feel like that's why this card's coming up first for you too, is you're just supposed to show up. You're just supposed to show up. You'll show up the best that you can no matter what, because that's what you do. But you gotta show up for the fight. Win or lose, you gotta show up for it. You gotta show up for what you're working towards. And this is the Seven of Wands too, you know, reminds us kind of new levels, new devils. When you're working towards elevating your life and you reach a certain point, you will lose people. There will be people around you that don't want to go down that path with you. Elevating to new levels can also make you more visible, and that can be difficult for you, Virgo, because you're not always like the person who wants to be seen, the Hangman. So there's some hiding going on. You might be even feeling a little stuck. Maybe it's been really hard to show up because you're just feeling so unsure. The thing about the Hangman, though, is that the stuckness is kind of an illusion. It's not just a feeling of stagnation. I mean, it can feel like stagnation, but it is more of like a cocoon stagnation. Like, there's still stuff happening inside. There's still stuff happening behind the scenes The Hangman is very much that energy of like, even when you don't feel like you're doing the work, you're doing the work. You know what I mean? Even if you feel like you can't show up perfect, you're gonna show up. You got to. You got to show up. Got to show up. But feels like there's something you're supposed to be learning here. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, so for some reason, it looks like there is like something you're supposed to be learning here. And it almost feels like you need to be going back into Leo season energy if you haven't been taking advantage of Leo season energy the way you should have. Because this should be like this. We're going backwards. Like, all of a sudden we have the Ace of Wands. We just had the 7. You were, like, up there doing your thing. And then, I mean, this Hangman could easily be an existential crisis. It's like maybe you got to where you thought you wanted to be and you were, like, fighting. You're fighting to be in that place. You're like, this is what I want. This is it. And then all of a sudden you're there and you're like, maybe I don't. I gotta rethink this. I gotta sit with this and really figure out if it is actually what I want. I gotta retract a little bit. It's a good time to start retracting a little bit. Fall's coming. And with the Ace of Wands coming up in reverse, you've been disconnected from your passion. Whatever this was or is, if you're here now, you've been disconnected from what you really love and what you really want. You're having to really reevaluate some things. And you really need to be looking for things that, like, I want to say excite you, but it's so much deeper than that. This is not like a shallow, instantaneous fulfillment, what's the thing that we love in America so much? Instant gratification. This is not like an instant gratification excitement. This is deep in your heart and soul, lighting you up, reminding you why you're alive. So it feels like you've been doing stuff to try to get there, but you're just, something happened that threw you off. You thought you were going to this place, you're like, yes, I'm here, I'm fighting for it, and then something happened and it knocked you back inside. And now there's really some reevaluating going on. The Empress in reverse also. This has been coming up a lot lately because we are not caring for ourselves the way we should. You are not caring for yourself the way you should. You're not prioritizing yourself the way you should. These two cards together make me feel a little like there might be some like self-destructive stuff going on. Not extremely, but that's kind of what I like heard was like self-destruct. Like it's like, it's almost like you're maybe like fighting to stay alive. Like this energy now is like almost turning into like tired toddler energy, where it's like the Hangman's like, just relax, it's okay, it's nap time, like, or it's bedtime, like, let's just go to sleep. You're like, nope, I don't need to go to sleep, I'm fine, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this thing, and I'm gonna run around, and I wanna dance, and I wanna scream, and I wanna, like, when kids are so tired, and they do not want to go to bed, and so they're just, like, ramped up. Like, my partner does that when he's tired. Like, why are you acting like a toddler right now? Because you need to go to bed. And so it's like, a little bit more permission to come inward. And it feels like that's been a lot of the energy lately for Virgo, is like, it's okay, Virgo. Coming inward, coming home, being safe within yourself, really caring about yourself, because then we're moving backwards. 6 of Wands in reverse. Again, you're not celebrating how far you've come. You're not, like, it's almost like you got to this place you wanted to be, and it didn't feel as good as you thought it was going to do either. So you're like, well, that didn't work out. Guess it sucks to suck. It doesn't have to suck like that, Virgo. It doesn't have to suck like that. It really doesn't. So what are you gonna do? This like went back and forth and back and forth, and like maybe that's some of the energy you're in. Like I do, I don't. He loves me not. She loves me not. I want to, I don't want to. A lot of the like, and it's almost like there's just so much movement that of course you can't figure out what you want, because you won't even let yourself relax enough to figure it out. Like, you need to be doing this to like turn all this stuff around. This is how we want it. We need all these things to be upright. We need all these things to be upright. When this is all down coming up like this is a no bueno. I'm sad for you. You want a hug? Do you need a hug? You're not, it's like, I call this the boner card, because it should, it's what gets you excited. We get in, like, not excited at all. Not enough self-care, not enough self-prioritizing, not enough celebrating the victories. Because you haven't even stopped enough to see where you're at, to be where you are, to realize that you've gotten what you want, to realize that you can also change it, that you can still get what you want, to realize what you even want, to realize how to truly take care of yourself, to truly prioritize yourself. And I know that can feel so selfish for you. Can feel so selfish. Ooh. Ace of Pentacles. So, money is going good. Oh. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. What's happening, Virgo? We're getting a little too deep into it now. But it's your birthday. I wanted to try to give you a little something special, but it feels like we can't go too far because you don't know where you are now. And it almost feels like you keep getting these gifts from the universe, and then like something's happening and you're like not receiving them, or you're like, I heard looking a gift horse in the mouth, taking them for granted. There's a disconnect happening. Like, this feels so disconnected. Like, woo, yeah, got something. Oh, but what are you doing with it? Like, okay, we're in a good place, alright. Okay, well, maybe you slow down a little bit. Ooh, where are we going now? Ooh, like, you gotta decide. The power is in your hands. Like, literally, you have two aces here, so something's happening. The aces really only come up when there's like, look, it's just like hands, like, giving you things. So there's certain things that you're being gifted that you're not seeing and you're not connecting with, and there's certain things that you are getting, but you're maybe not doing what you should with them. And it's not working out. It feels a little... It's weird because it doesn't look like dark, it does feel a little bit like, a problem of your own making, self-fulfilling prophecy. It's kind of like, well, I knew it wasn't going to work out anyway, so it's like, well, why didn't it work out anyway? Like, did you do everything you could to help it work out? I don't know, did you? You tell me. This is about you. I wish I had, like, just, like, some sound advice for this, but it really is just, like, you gotta take a step back. Okay? You gotta take a moment. You gotta take a pause. Especially if you're feeling like things are not going well, like you feel like you're fighting for certain things feel sloppy, you don't like how you're showing up this way, like, I'm trying to tell you, like, you don't have to show up perfect, but if you're really being affected by this so much, it's like, bro, rest. Things have changed. Get to know what you want. Get to know you and what kind of care you require. And be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for how far you've come. How much you've achieved. And the next time a gift comes to you, say thank you. Recognize it as a gift. Because if you keep doing this, the Wheel of Fortune reversed is almost a Tower. It's almost a Death card. It has that same, this is what really makes me think, like, this is of your own making. What you're putting out is what's being shown to you. And it might be a really hard mirror to look in. I get it. I've been to therapy lots for most of my life. It's hard to look at your shit. But it's kind of like, in order to save yourself, in general, I mean, could be big. 2 aces, 3 major arcanas, 3 wands. I would sit with this. What do you want? What do you really want? And how are you going to get it? And what are you doing now? So I understand if you're feeling existential crisis, because this feels very existential. It feels kind of like a crisis. It feels, in a way, it's... But you are strong, and you're smart, and you're capable, and you can pull yourself out of this. And only you can do it. Nobody else is going to do it for you. I believe in you, Virgo. I believe in you. So I'm going to pull you a Queen of the Moon Oracle card. Anybody can be a queen if they want. Ooh. Change. Thunder Moon. Change. I said something changed. Something changed, and something still needs to change. Accept change. Life, like the seasons, is about change. Take advantage of change energy. Plan ahead. The mantra is, I welcome change and I ride its energy. One of the great truths in life is that change is constant. It is unavoidable, and we can resist all we want, but nothing truly stays the same. It is better than to prepare and even direct change by setting intentions and building our personal power from the inside out. Seasonally, there are 3 times of the year that are at their essence a profound sense of change. Usually the shoulder seasons of autumn and spring, It is at these times of year we can feel more easily the shift between one season and another. In autumn, I don't know why I said there are 3 times of the year. It's not even in there. There are times of the year, seasonally, there are times of the year that have at their essence a profound sense of change. Sorry, excuse me. In autumn, the nights grow longer and there is a chill when darkness falls that wasn't there just weeks before. The breeze that blows is no longer balmy. The birds we have been watching all summer seem to have packed up and left, and in their place new species appear to strut their stuff. We begin to dress in more layers, and we may even hunger for different foods. All these are signals of change. In spring, it's all about waking up and warming up, and the opposite happens. All these are signals of change. This moon shines down upon the winds of change, the clearing storms, the electric cackle of lightning, and the boom of thunder echoing across the valley. There is great energy to be channeled in such a time and to be focused towards riding change with joy and ease. Oh, companion stone is serpentine. I totally got my serpentine stone out to wear for Virgo season, so look at that. And you're the last season of summer, and then there's more change after that. So the change is coming, literally and figuratively. Figuratively and literally, change is coming. So be prepared. I hope that some of this gave you insight on how to prepare. Okay, Virgo, I hope you have a good season, and I will see you for Libra season. Bye.